It was a submission in the first round in fight number one. We move on to our second fight of the evening, a V3 Fights Bantamweight Division battle with William the Bullet Gipson and Nehemias El Chapo Cruz. Here comes Gipson from Independence, Mississippi, fighting out of the Brawler's Den, coached by Jeff Denton Sr. and Jr., and making his debut tonight.
Gipson, he's excited to fight. His coach offered him up, said, hey, find this guy a fight. He's really a natural 125-pounder, a flyweight. We had Nehemias booked with someone else. He pulled out due to lack of training. Gipson jumped up and said, I'll do it. I want it. I want on this card. He's got a big fan base following him, so I'm excited to see what he's got tonight. But he's got a real tough opponent, Nehemias Cruz, the reigning Fight of the Year winner from 2017.
Well, Gipson is certainly an athlete. He loves to compete, and he said, why not? Fighting will be the best way to be tested in the competitive arena. I'm sure this guy's played a number of sports. He's just 25 years of age, and he's trained. He's worked hard with the Brawler's Den. He'll be cornered by Sean Mitchell and Brandon Wages. So he says, hey, let me see what I can do inside the octagon. But again, as you mentioned, Nehemias El Chapo Cruz will be a worthy opponent, and we'll meet him in just a moment. Nehemias from Memphis, Tennessee, and Team Phalanx. We've seen him once before on V3 Fights and lost that fight, so he'll be looking to even his record up. Coached by Kevin Henry, cornered by Summer Alowine and John Cruz. Says he's trying to get past his street life days and turn it into a positive future inside the cage.
This kid's been through a lot. His fight that he lost was actually at a weight class above. He was probably giving up 10 plus pounds in that fight and still put on fight of the night, fight of the year performance. This kid's exciting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do in a lower weight class.
Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Again, Gipson making his debut. Cruz, it will only be his second fight. Cruz 3 inches taller, both MMA fighters, and Gipson at 25, Cruz at 23, so two young fighters. You don't see the reach on the tail of the tape, but I can tell you it's a 70-inch reach for Cruz, 68-inch reach for Gipson. This one should be interesting. Again, a guy who we don't know an awful lot about other than that he's a good athlete, and he feels that this is the best way to test his competitive making. His upbringing was athlete, sports, and now a different type of athletic arena as you go inside the cage here. There's Cruz, little sip of agua before he heads inside the cage.
Here you see Kevin Henry, who's fighting later tonight against Terry Johnson. Jeremy Rogers right behind him, who was just victorious. Kingston Briscoe, the coach at Hit Lab. So he's got some great people with him. Tyler Smith giving him a hug there.
And here he comes. Final few words from Kevin Henry. And here comes El Chapo. It'll be William the Bullet Gipson, Nehemias El Chapo Cruz in this V3 Fights Bantamweight Division battle. Now let's officially meet the two in this second battle for us this evening here on V3 Fights 66.
Cloud 9 Smoke Shop. It is set for 3 3-minute rounds in the Bantamweight Division. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, the third man in the cage will be Eric McMahon. Introducing first out of the blue corner. He's wearing the red, white, and blue. He stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighed in at 133 pounds. He is making his MMA debut. Representing Brawler's Den and fighting out of Independence, Mississippi, this is William the Bullet Gipson. And across the cage, his opponent out of the orange corner. He wears the black tights and stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighed in at 132 pounds. He has a record of 0 wins and 1 loss. He's representing Phalanx Gym. And he's fighting out of Memphis, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nehemias El Chapo Cruz.
Once again, Eric McMahon will be the third man in the cage as Gipson and Cruz get sent for this bantamweight division battle. 3 rounds, 3-minute rounds. Round 1, here we go on V3 Fights.
Cruz definitely wants to get
Oh, a
that
big
win.
right by El Chapo to start things off. And then Gipson misses on the right. They tangle with the kicks, and down go the 2. Gipson on top of El Chapo. I don't know if they wanted to go to the ground that quickly.
It's like El Chapo is kind of working for that same triangle that Jeremy Rogers just worked.
Big right there from Cruz to start things off. Again, the debut for Gipson. El Chapo from his back got a shot in with the left hand. See those legs at work.
He's trying to work that triangle. Now he's got an armbar possibly. He doesn't have it around the head, so he doesn't have anything yet.
Meanwhile, a couple of shots from Gipson from a standing position.
Gibson's in a safe position right now.
El Chapo working hard. Gipson trying to do some damage from a standing position.
Did
Kind of a
he tap?
squatting position.
Looked like he almost tapped. I wasn't sure. But he shouldn't. He's in a safe position here. You really can't hyperextend his arm from here. He's got to be able to push his head back with his legs.
Well, there he gets the head out and he'll let go. And now Gipson has the back of El Chapo. Now he's going for a rear naked here.
Looks like El Chapo's going to reverse this though. Gibson's a little too high.
Good action here in this first round.
Wants to swim that right arm through around his waist.
Pretty good tactical fight for 2 guys who have the experience of 1 fight inside the cage.
Absolutely, they're going at it. It's what the fans want to see. We love it.
And that's Gipson on the bottom now. A shot from the right hand of Cruz. Got some pop behind that little frame at 5'7", 132. A couple shots to the ribs. Now the overhand right from the position of on top of Gipson. You saw some shots to the rib cage. Getting a good vantage point from our crew there, from Eric McMahon's vantage point as well, the referee.
One thing to remember with the amateur fighters, elbow strikes to the head or body are illegal. Knees to the face or the head are also legal, to include standing up. So you will see a little bit of a difference when we go to the pro card, but fans at home saying, hey, drop some elbows. I'm sure they'd love to, but they can't in the state of Tennessee.
Under 30 now to go in this very exciting first round.
Looks like Gibson's trying to maybe work a triangle himself, or possibly an armbar again that he had the first time.
Under 10 now to go in this first round. A couple of shots from El Chapo. Both fighters have had their moments here in this first round, and we're going to a second round. Good stuff from Gipson and Cruz. I think it's a great point you made about the elbows here in Tennessee for those who watch, because the V3 Fights family and the fan base that we have created over the years, as we see some of the highlights here.
There was that overhand right in the beginning that Nehemias landed. Got caught, he threw that kick, got caught, and that's what started us on the ground. Really didn't have an armbar in the correct position. You see, he's really in no trouble whatsoever. He's not pushing his head away, and he's able to reverse it and get out on top.
There you see him try for the rear naked, but quickly the reversal here from El Chapo.
So pretty even round. I'd probably give it to Nehemias with that overhand right, but definitely an even round.
Good look at Gipson again making his debut. So the point I was trying to make is we do a lot of fight cards in the state of Mississippi where it's a whole different ball game with these 6'12" elbows.
Amateurs down there can throw elbows, they can throw knees, they can do it all. Every athletic commission's in charge of the safety of their fighters, and we play by their rules.
Absolutely. And again, these amateur bouts here in Tennessee sanctioned by ISKA. Good first round. Let's keep it going here in round number 2. Packed house here at Minglewood Hall. Little issue with the gate. Now they finally get it locked up, and we are ready to rock and roll. Round 2 Here we go on V3 Fights. See if El Chapo comes out swinging again like he did early in that first round, then the takedown. Nice kick from Gipson to the rib cage of El Chapo. Once again, the two in a clinch. Couple of knees from El Chapo. Good knee there.
It's more of a Muay Thai clinch here.
That was a knee, left-hand combination. I think Gipson's got a little mark under his eye, but he's a game fighter again in his debut. Looks pretty darn good.
The advantages Nehemias has as well is he had a really tough battle before. He's been in there, he's been tested, and that could be a huge advantage going against a debut fighter.
Two swinging from their feet, especially Gipson here early in the second round.
Nehemias kind of looked like he got the better of it. He's throwing that overhand right.
Wouldn't be surprised if I see an El Chapo takedown here soon. Nice kick.
Oh,
and down goes El Chapo. Gipson drops him. Now pounding with the ground and pound here. The hammer fists. Can El Chapo survive this one? He's turtling up a bit. Now side mount from Gipson. He's in half full. He's trying to get that other leg up. El Chapo's trying to avoid it. Boy, that came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah, he was out for a second. That was a little bit of inexperience by Gipson. I think if Gipson had gotten on him, he could have gotten in a full mount and finished this fight, but he hesitated when he saw him go down.
El Chapo holding on here in the second round. Still plenty of time.
Now he's past the guard, so he's actually in a full mount here. You see El Chapo holding his head close to his body so that Gipson can't extend and rain down blows.
Kind of sideways
there. Gets a reversal here.
Nice reversal by El Chapo.
It's just a lack of ground discipline there.
You got to be very, very patient. You're anxious to do something, but you got to be very patient. Under a minute to go here in the second round. Gipson with that big punch that took down El Chapo.
I mean, just straight to his back, he went down. But now, Nehemias got that time to recover, to rest, shake the cobwebs. Like we said, he's been in a battle before where he took a lot of punishment, a lot of punches, and it was an amazing fight, so.
Under 30 here in the second round. First round maybe too close to call. Second round, obviously Gipson, but El Chapo trying to really take advantage here of this final 20 seconds because Gipson looks to be maybe a little gassed here. Under 10 to go.
Gipson looking like he's trying to get a Kimura and actually does get a reversal at the end of the round.
That'll do it.
Isn't able to finish it off, but definitely a Gipson round. Did some refs see it 10-8 with the knockdown, with the damage done? Was it a 10-9? Is this fight 1-1 going into the third round? I don't know.
Well, as you mentioned, I mean, for the final 15, 20 seconds, I thought, El Chapo there had it, as we see this big knockdown with the right hand.
There it is, and he's out, he's stunned. But you saw the hesitation from Gipson.
Right,
He
good call.
hesitated, and Nehemias was able to clear himself and get back down to his stomach. You see how he's clearing himself? He's able to get into him and stop the blows.
Was he worried that there was going to be some type of up kick or something from him not jumping on him full mount as opposed to going to the side and trying to rain a few hammer fists?
He was probably as surprised by that punch as we were.
Hey, he probably thought he had him knocked out, and then he comes in with a couple of hammer fists, and then Eric McMahon stops the fight.
Right.
Instead, you look back at it, when he looks back at the video, if I jump on him full mount, then I probably end it. Instead, we're going to a third round. This has been tremendous. We certainly hope you're enjoying it. William the Bullet Gipson and Nehemias El Chapo Cruz. Gipson in the red, white, and blue trunks. Round 3, here we go, the decisive round on V3 Fights. El Chapo, nice right hand after he caught the kick from Gipson. Gipson with another kick and a wild swing by El Chapo. He took one on the kisser again from Gipson. Gipson with some haymakers. He's just ducking and swinging, and then El Chapo comes back with a big left. And now they tumble to the ground. And the fans showing their appreciation with that loud ovation. Wow, what
fireworks.
fireworks.
Only the second fight. We've got Major fireworks, great fight, great matchup.
Mr. Matchmaker, this is only fight 2 of 15.
This is a good one.
And we certainly hope you're enjoying it. Tell a friend, have a friend tell a friend.
V3Fights.com live.
Now Gipson trying to rain some ground and pound down on El Chapo.
Well, El Chapo tried to go for an armbar, but he went the completely wrong way, and he put himself in a bad position. Now he's fully mounted. Let's see if Gipson can actually straighten up, get some posture, and rain down some punches and get this fight finished.
El Chapo trying to cover up, trying to, oh, there he got that right mid out, and he started to land a little bit. Gipson with a couple of shots with that right hand. Now going in for a choke.
Nehemias, if he goes belly down, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. But Gipson's got to get that left leg tied into him. He's got to get underneath, get those leg rights in, get those hooks in to secure position on his back.
Yeah, he gives up on trying that choke there. El Chapo continues to cover up the back of his head. In the meantime, he's taking some shots to the side.
El Chapo's got to defend himself intelligently here. You know, definitely a close fight. I think this round determines the winner, and as of right now, Gipson is definitely getting the better of El Chapo.
Well, to this point, a heck of a debut for William Gipson, again fighting out of Independence, Mississippi, and the Brawler's Den. Nehemias El Chapo Cruz from Memphis and Team Phalanx.
Instead of just raining blows down, you see Gipson just trying to pick his punches. Don't sit there and pick them. Rain down punches. What
right.
gets through, gets through.
Hey, you don't want it to go to the cards. Make the referee stop the fight. He's got him in full mount, and now El Chapo's holding onto his arms and preventing that from happening. But for a while there, you're right. He had a chance to just rain down 5, 6, 7 shots, and it may have ended it. He still could end this thing right now. El Chapo trying to go side to side, bob and weave his head, but he's getting tagged with a bunch of them right now.
I think it's about to get ended. This fight's going to be over.
It's over. It is over. There was 14 seconds to go before it was going to go to a decision. And what a performance by William the Bullet Gipson. And he certainly lived up to that name. He was a bullet. Look at his corner as they run into the cage to congratulate this 25-year-old. He said he wanted to compete. He says fighting will be the best way to be tested in competitive arenas, right? He plays other sports. This is the ultimate, and look what he did tonight.
You see Jeff Denton Sr. and Jr. in there with him, his coaches. Fans are excited. What a great performance for a debut fighter to come out here and put that kind of performance on. Really looking forward to getting this kid back on a card again in the future.
Fans excited. They saw a terrific fight. Now let's get the official time as this does end before it goes to the cards, and just barely. William the Bullet Gipson a winner. Let's go inside the cage to Dustin Starr.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest, 2 minutes and 46 seconds into the third round, by TKO, William the Bullet Gipson.
Quite a performance by William the Bullet Gipson. Coming up next, one of the most colorful characters we've ever seen in the V3 Fight cage, Din Bates is next. Keep it right here on V3 Fights.